sisters, brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Hey yo, check this out, this is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another great edition of the Dante's Boxing Nation Show. I am your host, Dante, and we are back. It's fight week. Sergey Kovalev versus Andre Ward, and it's about to go down, man. This is the battle of supremacy, pound for pound supremacy. So after this week, there will be no more debating on who the best fighter is and all that kind of stuff. All right, so first things first, let me go ahead and introduce the panel as I always do. We're going to have a couple people calling in and everything, but right now I got my man on the line, my man E-King, EkingFightnews. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel if you haven't already did it. What's going on, E-King?
Yeah. Yo, what up, Dante?
Thanks
for that intro. Yo, everyone, stay tuned, guys. This is going to be a great show.
Absolutely. And as you guys can see, we have the number you guys can call in, but we're going to try to take some calls in a little bit, all right? We'll try to take some calls and answer as many as we can, but I want to make sure we get, keep things pushing. So just go ahead and call that number you see right there on the right side of your screen right there, all right? So with no further ado, let's get into it, y'all. Yes, sir. So anyway, E-King, man, the first thing I want to talk about is this Manny Pacquiao pay-per-view numbers, man. Everyone's talking about the pay-per-view numbers right now. It's 300,000. At least that's what Bob Arum is reporting. What was your reaction to the numbers, and did you think the numbers were going to be what they were, E-King?
If I'm not mistaken, Pacquiao versus Bradley did about the same as an HBO pay-per-view. So, actually, I wasn't expecting anything special. Jesse Vargas he's not an all-star kind of guy. He didn't get any major victories. He beat Saddam Ali.
Mm-hmm.
That was his, that's what got him the fight, right? And Saddam Ali was a prospect.
Yeah.
Prospect contender, number one contender kind of a guy. And, Jesse Vargas was known for losing to Tim Bradley before that, right? So, he did have a great 12th round that got him some luster back. And the Saddam Ali victory was impressive. He did look a lot bigger, showed a lot more power, and did show, I thought it would be a more competitive fight. Manny Pacquiao, rocket left hand in that second round, I believe, just took Vargas out of the fight with his power. And, he got hit too. Pacquiao got hit, but this stage of Manny Pacquiao is really, he's sort of adapted to his age. He knows he's not that huge volume guy anymore. So, you give him credit for adjusting. Like any other great fighter, he started throwing that right hook in the middle of the fight that was landing against Vargas, and he did adjust well and give him credit. Close fight, but Pacquiao did win pretty decisively, and the numbers don't surprise me. It was a top ranked card. Bob Arum decided not to take HBO. He accepted the fact that HBO let the fight go, and he was like, "Fuck, I'm doing my own pay-per-view."
Uh-huh. And
the numbers were what they were. He even admitted it was a single or a double. It wasn't a home run. So
yeah,
even he knows that the numbers weren't great.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's trying to, tell people that the numbers were magnificent, but that's of course what he does, Bob Arum. But I mean, it's common sense. Bob Arum was the main person that was saying these numbers were going to be better than the Bradley numbers because now Manny Pacquiao is fighting against a Mexican fighter. And this is what I said on the show. What's that?
Just to compare, do you recall what Canelo versus Khan did? Was that like 500?
Yeah, it was around. I think it was around 500,000. I think it was around, and I know Canelo Cotto, I know that was like about, what, 800, 900 or something like that.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
so you really need to have a dynamic between both fighters. You can't have one guy that's semi-unknown and then a Manny Pacquiao. That's not gonna, light the world on fire, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but once again, one thing it does just prove, though, is it just proves that everything that Floyd Mayweather said when he was saying, I'm gonna give you this $40 million because you're not worth the money I'm worth. He was right, and that's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down
Absolutely.
to. So I mean, 300.
And you know what? Because he's Manny Pacquiao, he still has enough of a following to make money on pay-per-view. It's not like he's going back down to HBO.
Mm-hmm.
He's proven to be above that. And, look at a case like Triple G, who had a pay-per-view once upon a time, and
mm-hmm.
that bombed completely.
Yeah.
So, there's a huge difference in star power.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a guy like Manny Pacquiao going forward. And it's all about matchmaking. If you put him in there against a guy like an Adrian Brawner, there's going to be a lot more hype behind that fight because he's in there with Adrian Brawner. Right?
Yeah, of course. And we already know, man. We already know. If Pacquiao would have been fighting Adrian Brawner, like you just basically referenced to, the pay-per-view numbers would have been way better. They would have been way better because
I believe so.
Yeah, Brawner, he would have sold.
He's got a huge following.
Yeah, Brawner, he would have sold the fight. He would have been talking a lot of shit. It would have been, the fight would have basically been billed as Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather's little brother. And now, if he beats Brawner, now Floyd Mayweather wants to come out of retirement, to avenge his little brother's loss or whatever the case may be. On top of that, the bullshit excuses that Manny Pacquiao was using. So, that would have been a much bigger fight. But then again, I mean, let's be realistic, E-King. Almost anybody would have probably, I won't say almost anyone, but Pacquiao versus Danny Garcia versus Terrence Crawford, Broner, we know that those would have been much bigger fights. We know that. But it was Manny Pacquiao who decided to pick Vargas because he thought Vargas was going to be the easiest opponent to beat out of all of those guys. I mean, what do you think about that, E-King? Do you think that Vargas is the easiest out of all those opponents or what?
I mean, he picked the guy that, after he beat Bradley, he picked the guy that lost to Bradley.
Uh-huh.
he didn't pick the number one guy at 140, which was the guy Terrence Crawford. Bob Arum literally had to say, hold on, maybe it's not Jesse Vargas. I'm going to go talk to Terrence Crawford. In the middle of making the Jesse Vargas fight, he had to try and hold out hope that Pacquiao would change his mind and maybe pick Terrence Crawford. So there was a big demand from the top rank end to see Pacquiao versus Crawford, and ultimately Team Pacquiao did not want to go ahead with that fight. But whatever their reasons were, they didn't want to go ahead with that fight.
Yeah.
And, Jesse Vargas, not a notable guy. Pacquiao was coming off of the Mayweather loss. So, it's hard to end inactivity. I looked at it as a tune-up, to be honest. It was a tune-up fight. It could have been more competitive. I thought Jesse Vargas really looked slow in there compared to Manny Pacquiao, especially in the later rounds. It looked like he had his feet in mud, actually. No offense to Jesse Vargas, he's a solid fighter, but
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's a learning process for Jesse Vargas, but I know it must really be a major setback psychologically. The fact that he lost to Tim Bradley, now he comes back and he loses to Manny Pacquiao. He got his spirits up, like you said, with the Saddam Ali win. But now, he can't be feeling too good about this Manny Pacquiao loss. I mean, I know, he was optimistic about it. He sounded kind of upbeat when he was saying, this is just going to make me better. But, he has to be careful not to be somewhat of a gatekeeper because he already lost to two of the biggest names, and those are not even the most dangerous welterweights. I mean, you still have the Keith Thurmans, the Errol Spence, even Danny Garcia, so you still have some.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got some lions up there at that welterweight division, man. So anyway, man, let's go ahead and talk about this the fight this weekend, man. So, I mean, you got Ward versus Kovalev, and Eking, what I really like about this fight is, like I said at the beginning of the show, when it comes to this fight right here, the winner of this fight, is going to be pound for pound, undisputed, the best fighter in the world. There's no way anyone could try to justify someone else. And what's so crazy about that is the fact that when people talk about who's pound for pound the best fighter in the world, how are you going to say the winner of this fight is not when the winner of this fight is actually beating other fighters on the pound for pound list? There's no other fighter right now, outside of Mayweather, and he retired already. There's no other fighter that is beating pound for pound champions right now. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. And realistically, who has been number 2 on that list for the longest time?
It was Andre Ward, absolutely.
Andre Ward. Ever since he won the Super 6, he's been number 2 on that list.
Uh-huh.
Right? He defined himself at 168, beat everyone in front of him. And yeah, he had some promotional issues. He basically took, a couple fights, like one fight per year, and now he's back. He's embracing the challenge of the light heavyweight division, and absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kovalev also beat someone on the pound for pound list. Bernard Hopkins, even at 50,
yeah,
and that's top pound for pound list. And Kovalev did get the job done there. He took out the legend, Bernard Hopkins, and Andre Ward. He beat everyone at 168. He moved up, and now he's got someone that is undefeated, right? Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. I think I don't know if it's Boxing Scene or one of those websites, but one of them websites, they have Sergey Kovalev as pound for pound number 1 right now. So once again, this is what I'm saying. We already know that if Andre Ward were to beat Sergey Kovalev, of course, the excuse is going to come out. Don't be surprised. You're going to see articles of people saying, oh, it was the most boring fight ever, all because the guy they didn't want to win ended up winning the fight. And that's what it really comes down to. But, hey, we're going to go ahead and take a call. This will be the first call we take on this show live. So let's go ahead and open the phone lines. We got my man, area code 602 is on the line. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Dante? Quick question for you, man. Do you believe the hype that Floyd is saying in regards to Ward being set up to fail, or like the politics and stuff?
Well, absolutely. I mean, first of all, what's your name and where you from, man?
Oh, my name is Marvin, man. I'm from Phoenix.
Okay. You said Marvin?
What up, man?
From Phoenix.
Okay, Marvin. Well, I mean, yeah, to answer your question, Marv, I mean, I was just basically alluding to that right before you called in. I mean, when last time Andre Ward, he faced Alexander Brand, you had Dan Raphael from ESPN. He wrote an article, and he titled the article, it was the most boring fight ever on HBO, and before that, he didn't, Dan Raphael, he didn't show up to cover either of Andre Ward's last 2 fights against Barrera or against Alexander Brand. So, yeah, there's no doubt about it that, the hate is being transferred over from Floyd Mayweather to Andre Ward. And we pretty much, already know what time it is when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, this is about who the best is. All this talking about fighters you don't like or you don't like their style or whatever, that has nothing to do with who's the best. If you watch the Super Bowl and somebody wins the Super Bowl, 3-0 or 7-0, no one is going to say, oh, that was a terrible game. They're going to say those are the Super Bowl champions. So, that's really what it comes down to, man. Hey, man, but thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it, man. Take care, all right?
Thanks.
All right, man. All right, so that was Mar from Phoenix, man. But anyway, let's get back to the groove of things. E. King, man. So once again, How do you see this fight playing out? Do you see this fight as back and forth? You see it looking like the Carl Froch fight? You see it looking like Ward versus Dawson or Kovalev versus Chilemba? How does the fight play out?
Great question, Dante. That's a money question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, looking back at Ward's fights, it would be hard to compare to something to one of his fights at 168 because obviously the weight's an issue. He's moving up here, although he's acclimated himself to 175 pounds. This is probably the strongest opponent he's faced. This is Crusher Kovalev. This is a guy that has a huge knockout rating, and we have to see if Andre Ward can neutralize that
Mm-hmm.
and how he's going to be able to take his punch. There's been no doubt that Andre Ward has a solid chin.
Yeah.
So, in terms of how he reacts to that will be interesting. I don't see him having any major issues there.
Mm-hmm.
I think this fight is all about distance.
Yeah.
I think it's all about real estate in terms of where Andre Ward is he going to dictate the pace of the fight, or is Kovalev going to be able to get the space he needs to keep Ward on the outside? Because I don't see Kovalev as a great inside fighter. I see him, pushing off on the inside just to get a good long shot, like a long right hand or a sneaky left hook in there. But I think Andre Ward's a superior inside fighter, and on the outside it's about 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about Andre Ward dictating the pace, and I can see the majority of this fight being on the inside, and it could be really dirty. This is a lot of variables in this fight, and I think that's why it's pretty much an even fight when it comes to the betting odds.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Ward's he's actually a slight favorite, a very slight favorite going into this fight, and ultimately it's hard to go against Andre Ward by decision. It's really hard. I think Floyd Mayweather believes they could rob him. But Floyd Mayweather has been in this situation before. When he fought off Canelo Hoya, he almost got robbed.
Yeah.
But he did walk away with a victory.
Even he almost got robbed in the Canelo fight by one of the judges. So
yeah, but that would have been something really terrible.
Yeah.
But off Canelo Hoya, I'm sure if De La Hoya won that fight, there would be a lot of people just rolling with it.
Yeah.
But the Canelo fight was way off. That was
exactly. I mean, and once again, like you just basically, touched on, I mean, it really comes down to how Sergey Kovalev responds to getting hurt bad. I mean, because I feel in that first Pascal fight, I feel that Kovalev, he looked a little uncomfortable in that fight. Sergey Kovalev, he did a great job of taking away Pascal's inside game in a rematch. And Pascal, he was fighting from the outside. He was way shorter than Kovalev, and Kovalev did the smart thing. He took advantage of his long arms, and he kept him at the end of his punches. But once Pascal got on the inside in that first fight, it looked like he kind of hurt Kovalev just a little bit. But credit to Kovalev, he did rally back in that fight, even though he looked like he was hurt a couple times. But Andre Ward is a complete different animal, because Andre Ward, he'll get on the inside, and like you said, it may look like a rough and tumble type of fight, but what people don't realize is when Ward is on the inside, he's doing some serious work, and he's breaking you down. When he's hitting you with them up close, in the trenches type of punches, he's hurting you bad. So he's broke down a lot of fighters like that, mentally and physically. So it'll be really interesting to see how Sergey Kovalev deals with the inside fighting, because I don't think Kovalev is that comfortable on the inside. So, but at the same time, Andre Ward is going to have to worry about, getting away from that right hand, which I'm sure he's been training, to avoid it the whole night. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see knockdowns in this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if we see knockdowns in this fight. No one really believes the fight is going to end in a knockout, but you never really know, man. When you have fighters this crafty, once again, you don't have to have all the power in the world to knock somebody out. You just have to catch them with a shot that they don't really see. You feel me? Yeah. So I can't wait. Yeah, but I can't wait though, man. This is this reminds me of fights like, like when Roy Jones fought against Bernard Hopkins the first time, when nobody, a lot of boxing fans didn't really know, at least, only the diehard boxing fans knew who they were. But, the boxing world didn't really know who they were at the time, but that was a huge fight. And that's kind of how this is. The first time Andre Ward is fighting in Las Vegas, which is big. Once again, if he wins this fight, this definitely catapults his career. Same thing for Sergey Kovalev,
The fight's on pay-per-view, yeah?
Yeah, the fight is on pay-per-view, man. It's on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that'll be real interesting because HBO turned down Manny Pacquiao to take this fight.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? But you know what, E? I don't feel there's that much pressure on, Ward and Kovalev to generate big numbers because this is their first time on pay-per-view. I mean, me personally, I think the fight should have been on HBO, just like the Crawford versus Postal fight. I think it should have been on regular HBO, but you got to start somewhere, I guess, when it comes to pay-per-view. So I tell you right now, if they do, me personally, I feel with this being their first pay-per-view fight and neither one of them are stars at all, if this fight even does 300,000, I think that would be a huge success for their first pay-per-view. I mean, what do you think? What do you think the numbers might be, King?
No, yeah, if they literally match Manny Pacquiao's number, that shows you that both of these guys have a following combined, and Andre Ward, he gold medalist. He's known huge in California, right? Oakland. That's where he's a big draw. And Sergey Kovalev, he's I don't know if he's from Russia, so he's made his name knocking Americans out, basically. So
absolutely.
And he's got a lot of hype behind him. HBO has been plugging his fights. It doesn't matter who they were against, he's been plugging their fights, and I'm sure a lot of people see Kovalev coming up and had built him up to be the guy that takes out Andre Ward for sure. A lot of people picking Kovalev. A lot of people are on both sides of the fence here, and I think this is going to be it's going to be like an ultra chess match, and I think the Bernard Hopkins fight is so interesting because Hopkins is a master on the inside, and just super crafty, and Kovalev was able to deal with Hopkins, but he did hurt him early.
That's a good point,
right? So
but,
and
I
was just going to say that.
Go ahead.
If Andre Ward can, obviously Andre Ward, he's almost like a younger version of Hopkins. Younger, just as intelligent, and he's sort of taken bits and pieces of his style and incorporated it. He really reminds me of the Hopkins that fought Felix Trinidad. That's what Andre Ward reminds me.
Yeah.
And there's not too many guys that can compare to that skill level. And you know what? I at this stage I just like Andre Ward in the fight. I think he wins the decision. And I think he knows how to win rounds, and he knows how to score clear points. And Kovalev needs to be on his A game. He needs to be on his absolute A game to really, and he needs to hurt Andre Ward. He's got to freaking sell out and just try and befuddle him, try and frustrate him. And it's going to be a total chess match. This has a lot on the line.
Yeah.
It's just all the makings of a great fight right here.
Yeah, and I'll say this. We got some calls lined up right now. We're going to take another call in a minute. But before I take the next call, what I do want to say in response to what you said, you made a good point, when you compared Andre Ward to Bernard Hopkins. We all know their style is very similar. But what I noticed in the Kovalev versus Hopkins fight is weird because, usually Hopkins, he works on the inside. But when Hopkins actually fought against Kovalev, it was the contrary. He didn't really fight on the inside. He kind of tried to stay away from Kovalev. And matter of fact, Kovalev did the same thing. Kovalev, he would basically cut off the ring. He would put a lot of pressure on Hopkins. But when he got close to him, he would catch him with them long shots. And then, Hopkins would try to avoid them. And when Hopkins tried to counter, Kovalev was smart enough to take a jump back, and he would be out of distance for Bernard Hopkins to even touch him. So in that fight, Hopkins, he really didn't work on the inside, or he didn't even really try to work on the inside like he usually does. He didn't really try to smother him as much. But I believe when it comes to Andre Ward, he'll be a lot more successful when it comes to getting on the inside and smothering him. But who knows? Maybe Kovalev, he can keep him at a distance and make it hard, or make Andre Ward pay trying to get on the inside. But anyway, we're gonna try to take another call real quick. We got my man, area code 516 is on the line. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up, man?
All right,
big fan of your show, man. Even though I don't agree with everything you say, man, but I'm a big fan, definitely.
Hey, I appreciate it. Where you calling from, man?
From New York, man.
That's what it is. And, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Me and my mom, we don't always agree with everything. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So
of course,
it ain't nothing wrong with that. But what else is on your mind, man? And what's your name?
My name is Mustafa.
Okay. What's on your mind, man?
All right, so quick question, man. What do you think about Mayweather's legacy, right? He never got to fight a slick black fighter. I would say the only one he ever fought was probably Zab Judah. We know Zab Judah's limited. He's kind of limited. Where would you put him? Because, see, that's the problem with Mayweather's legacy. He never fought against somebody with that type of skill level. He always fought punchers, people that come forward, never nobody really skilled. Where would you put him, let's say, in a mythical match with Rigondeaux or a Lara or, one of these types of people? Had he have done that, I think he would have cemented his legacy as probably the best of all time.
Well,
the problem is we're never going to know because he's never fought somebody with that type of skill level before.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to say is, with me being a reporter, it's really great because I get the perspective of all kind of professional boxers who've done this, for their whole life, basically. Everyone, the majority of people that I actually talk to, before I answer your question, I'm going to give you, what their response would be because I got it on camera what they're saying. But the majority of professional boxers from Trinidad to Oscar De La Hoya to Freddie Roach, and the list just goes on and on and on, they actually have him rated, a lot of them have him rated. Oscar De La Hoya, you already know, he said he was possibly, the greatest fighter of all time. You had, I interviewed Felix Tito Trinidad, and Trinidad told me he was top 2, the greatest fighter of all time. And the list just goes on and on and on. Now, when it comes to fighting against black fighters, like you talked about Zab Judah, when Floyd Mayweather fought against Zab Judah, Zab Judah, he was very shortly, right before he had lost to Carlos Baldomir, he was the unified champion. He was the unified champion at the welterweight division. We all know that Zab Judah, he went in there and he gave Floyd Mayweather all kind of fits for the first 4 rounds. So, so he fought against Zab Judah.
He got an unofficial knockdown there in the 4th round.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so he fought Zab Judah. When he fought Shane Mosley, keep in mind, when he fought Shane Mosley, right before he fought Shane Mosley, fans were saying that Floyd Mayweather was ducking Shane Mosley. I remember Jim Lampley, he was saying it from HBO. Fans were saying, matter of fact, when Floyd Mayweather went on the radio show with R.A. Rugged Man, R.A. Rugged Man,
Rugged Man.
Yeah, he cussed him out, and R.A. Rugged Man was like, okay, well, I understand you're not gonna fight Pacquiao because of the drug situation, but what about Shane Mosley? And everybody in the radio studio, they was like, yeah, that's the fight I want to see. That's the fight I want to see, right? And soon as Floyd Mayweather fought, right after that interview, like months later, the fight was announced that he was fighting against Shane Mosley. Also, when Shane Mosley fought against Margarito, of course, was the #1 welterweight in the world. And I vividly remember, which I will play the clip for you guys, but I don't feel like looking it up. But Jim Lampley, he was specifically saying that Shane Mosley is on the verge of beating the #1 fighter in the welterweight division. And if he beats Margarito, he becomes the #1 fighter in the welterweight division. So he was pound for pound, top 10, top 5, one of the best fighters in the world when Floyd Mayweather beat him. If you really think about it, there's no black fighter right now outside of Floyd Mayweather that has a better resume than Shane Mosley when he fought him. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, he fought the Chop Corley.
But he was old at the time, though.
Hey, but the thing is, but if you didn't, well, you know what? Go ahead, E-King. I'll let you respond, and then I'll respond to him being old.
I was going to say, you know, he fought Zab Judah, and before that, he fought Chop Corley. Chop Corley is a guy that, at the time, he only had 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost a split decision with Zab Judah.
That was his first fight when he moved up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
My question, what I'm saying is to really cement his legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to really be considered the best, better than Sugar Ray.
To be honest,
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know,
and once it, let me respond. Let me respond.
He had so many fights to cement his legacy.
Hey, let me respond to you saying Shane Mosley is old. Let me respond. How many old fighters do you know today that's ranked number 1 in their entire division, and they're considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world?
How many fighters? What you said?
How many fighters do you know today that's considered old or too old, but they're considered number 1, the best fighter in their division?
There's none.
That's my point I'm making right there. Shane Mosley.
Right. Yo,
Shane
honestly,
Mosley,
look,
he was rated. I mean, that's like saying a football team, if they're considered the number 1 the number 1 seed, right? And then you beat the number 1 seed, and you say, oh, but that don't really count because the quarterback was old. You know, he had got tackled a gang of times, and you know, they're number 1 for a reason. You feel me? Now I could see if you know, we was talking about Floyd Mayweather, you know, beating guys that weren't even considered ranked. They weren't pound for pound. If he was just beating some Rod Salkas or, you know, somebody like that, some Dominique Wades or something like that, then you could say that. But the point that I'm making is, once again, this is not really so much of a debate because the professional boxers themselves, they're saying the same things. There's a reason why they're saying this. They're not saying this about any fighter. They're only saying this about Floyd Mayweather, you know. But, hey, man, but I got to get to another call, man. But, hey, go ahead and call back in, bro. I appreciate the question, and we'll catch up with you, all right? All right, thanks for your call, man. All right, man. So,
hey, Dante, just to speak on that point, just real quick.
Uh-huh.
In terms of legacy, there's been a few opponents really attached to Floyd Mayweather's name, but none bigger than Manny Pacquiao throughout his career.
Of course, yes.
And that was probably the biggest legacy fight in terms of the guy to beat Mayweather. You know, it was the media and the fans that appointed that to Manny Pacquiao. They didn't appoint that to any other fighter. You know, everyone wanted to believe that Manny Pacquiao was the guy that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And because no other fighter really got that kind of a credit.
And
no other, you know, and Arizona Lara has never been in a position to fight Mayweather.
And you know what?
He's never been in that position.
And yeah, and E-King, I'm glad you brought up that point. Yeah, you just made an excellent point. Let me just add on to what you just said. How many fighters can say that they beat a fighter that was considered the best fighter of the decade? You know what I mean? The fighter of the decade, an eight-time division champion. On top of that, when Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao was number 2 pound for pound on the majority of people's lists. You know what I mean? So you can't really.
And when Floyd Mayweather retired for a year, Manny Pacquiao took the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Unanimously.
Exactly. On top
and then when Floyd Mayweather came back, he beat Marquez. He's back to number 1. That's just how it went down.
That's how it went down. And on top of that, everybody who did a poll before the Manny Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, guess who they picked as the favorite to win the fight? They picked Manny Pacquiao to win the fight. So you can't say Pacquiao was old, he was this. How is he going to be pound for pound number 2 at the time? How is he going to be favored to beat Floyd Mayweather, but then when he wins, he's old? You see how they try to play these games? It's just that bullshit, man. But anyway, hey, let's go ahead and just take another call, man. We got had a whole bunch of people on here on hold for a while, so I'm gonna take another call real quick. We got area code 832 in the building on the phone. What's going on, man? You there?
Hello?
Yeah, 832. What's going on, man? I'm calling y'all by your area code since I don't know your name. What's going
my
on?
bad, man. My name's Naeed. I'm from Houston, Texas, man. I going on MMA, and I just want to say this, my opinion. Conor McGregor said it best. I'm just using MMA for right now. It's attributes. And piggybacking by what the previous caller said, the best person that I believe had the best chance to beat Mayweather because of his attributes was Oscar De La Hoya. And I might be biased because I'm Mexican-American, but just thinking of attributes alone, reach, height,
speed,
I'm
his
sorry,
speed,
he
his
was smart
speed.
too.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
No,
on that,
I agree
on that
with
little
you.
Argument right there.
I agree with you when it comes to that. I mean, because if you watch the first 6 rounds, you could clearly see, Oscar De La Hoya, his height, his speed, his boxing pedigree, even his defense.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know this, but when Oscar De La Hoya was, when he was coming up and when he was considered pound for pound, he had one of the top defenses in the game. So
that jab alone was a defensive missile, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but the problem, and everybody always wondered, why did Oscar stop using his jab? They all say, man, if you would have kept using your jab, you would have won the fight. But you got to understand, the kryptonite to a jab is a beautiful counter right hand, a pull counter right hand. So yeah, and you're right. On top of that, Oscar De La Hoya was the type of fighter to psychologically fatigue. You know what I mean? He didn't really fatigue.
Good point.
Yeah. It was more psychological because he did it every time. He looked great in the first 6 rounds, and then the second half, all of a sudden he'll just be following and looking like he's frustrated, looking like he's tired. So because I box myself, so I already know, with anxiety, with all that type of stuff, all these different intangibles, people throwing punches at you. You psychologically start to get tired. You know what I mean? So you start breathing, sucking air more. You got a lot to worry about. You know what I mean? You trying to hit somebody before they hit you, and you're getting tired. So it's a lot to it. But going back to your point, I agree with you though. Oscar De La Hoya, no doubt about it, he had the type of style to definitely give Floyd Mayweather, the most problems. But at the same time, Zab Judah, he showed it as well. Zab to me, when they both came up, when Floyd and Zab both came up, I always looked at them as Spider-Man and Venom. You know what I'm saying? They were pretty much the same type of style. It was just Zab Judah had a little bit more power, but their style was so similar. So when Floyd was fighting against Zab Judah, it was almost like a mirror match. But Zab is like Oscar De La Hoya. Zab is like he's great when it comes to the first half of the fight, the first 4 to 6 rounds. You feel me? So that's the difference with Floyd. I think Floyd was betting on that too. I think Floyd was relying on the fact that your boy Oscar De La Hoya, he would slow down. So that's what that is, man.
Yeah.
But
one more question.
Go ahead.
Just looking at other fighters that would have gave Floyd a lot of problems, and this guy that Floyd fought, Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto gave him similar issues.
Yeah.
Fernando Vargas.
De La Hoya gave him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and I would have loved to see a young Miguel Cotto in there against Floyd Mayweather. Just the guy that beat Shane Mosley right after he beat Shane Mosley. I would have loved to see the Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
And that was debatable with that Shane Mosley fight.
Yeah. The Shane Cotto fight. Oh, that was real close. But I give Cotto credit.
Real close.
But I give Cotto credit.
How about Fernando Vargas against Mayweather? I think that would be a good style matchup because he was a good counter and he had a lot of heart. He was chimmy, but he was always able to counter the great fighters like De La Hoya. He gave him fits. He gave Trinidad fits. He gave Mosley fits. I thought he was a real good fighter. Just came up real fast.
You know what, man? And shouts out.
He came up too fast.
Go ahead, Eking. Respond to that.
Fernando Vargas, one of my favorite fighters.
Agreed. Yes.
Took that heartbreaking loss to Tito Trinidad, and I think that loss just took so much. That kind of a fight he fought against Tito Trinidad. If you haven't seen that fight, go on YouTube and watch the first 4 rounds. All you gotta do is watch the first 4 rounds and you're hooked.
Yeah.
Yes.
That fight was just off the charts, and Vargas, against De La Hoya, again, that left hook caught up with him. just like it did against Tito Trinidad. And he did come back to beat a couple guys, but then he lost to Mosley as well. So he really just got tagged with left hooks later on in his career. He beat Winky Wright early on, and he's a Hall of Famer.
What about Winky Wright and Mayweather?
Now that right there,
that's a real interesting fight.
Now see,
that's one of the fights it's one of those fantasy matchups because Winky Wright had a great jabs. I think
Winky Wright. You know what? I truly believe Floyd Mayweather. I mean, it depends on if they're naturally the same size. Because of course, if Floyd was in Shea Mosley's situation, that would have been a hell of an uphill battle. Because you seen Winky, he was putting his hands down. He was letting Shea Mosley hit him because he knew that Shane was too small. So, but if they were naturally the same size, I think Floyd, he says it best. You bang the boxer and you box the banger. And I think if you notice, whenever Floyd fights a boxer, he's far more aggressive. When he fought against Zab Judah, when he fought against Chop Chop Corley, he was the aggressor. And I think if they were the same size, he would do the same thing with Winky Wright. And for Fernando Vargas, I don't think, Fernando Vargas, shouts out to him. He a good friend, cool guy. But I'm just going to be real because I always speak the truth. I think that that would be a terrible matchup style-wise for Fernando Vargas. I just think, he didn't have the defense to deal with a Floyd Mayweather because, by way of contrast, you comparing him to Oscar De La Hoya. De La Hoya is a far more difficult style for Floyd than Fernando Vargas. When Fernando Vargas fought against the Ike Cortez, when he fought against the dude who spit on him, or the dude he spit on, I forgot it, Thompson. I forget his first name. But when he fought against Thompson, a lot of people don't pay attention to stuff like this, but Thompson was outboxing Fernando Vargas before Fernando Vargas knocked him out. And you just got to ask yourself, if a guy like that can outbox Fernando, even if it's for a couple rounds, imagine what Floyd can do. So, but anyway, man. Hey, but thanks for your call, man. I'm going to let you go, man, so I can answer some other calls, man. Go ahead and call in anytime, all right, man?
All right. Appreciate it, man.
All right, no doubt, man. Take care, man. Okay, man. So anyway.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man.
Yeah. I mean, it would.
Just to add on to that, Winky Wright, he really grew out of the division, and he went up to middleweight, fought Jermaine Taylor, and I think he got a draw or something. He lost and got a draw. He fought Jermaine Taylor twice.
Yeah. Was it twice? I know he fought Shane twice. I don't remember if he fought Taylor twice.
Yeah, then he beat Trinidad. He went up and beat Trinidad.
He beat Trinidad, and they don't give Winky Wright the credit he deserves, man. Winky Wright, man, he should have went down as top 25 or something, man. I mean, he beat. I mean, even though it was a smaller Shane Mosley, but he beat him. He beat Shane Mosley twice. He beat Felix Trinidad. He played with Trinidad, And truth be told,
he made that look so bad for him.
And truth be told, E-King, he was the first one to beat Fernando Vargas, but they didn't give him the decision. So that.
Absolutely. No, yeah. I didn't mention it, but I did have Wright up by a couple points. I did.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. Hey, E-King, well, let's go ahead and take another call, man. I'm gonna take another call. We got area code 414 on the phone online. What's going on, man?
What's up? I'm live.
You live? You on the phone, man? What's up, man?
First, I want to say shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation.
Appreciate
I wanted to give my opinion on Ward-Kovalev. I think that Andre Ward is not going to be able to get Kovalev to respect his punching power. Unlike Mayweather did with Canelo, because I've seen Mayweather got Canelo. It made him to respect his right hand, which put them into, I put him into his boxing game, made him box. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Ward's going to be able to do that to Kovalev, because I seen Ward fight harder punches like Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao hit harder than Andre Ward, so I think he's going to. I see Kovalev taking him 12.
So you picking Kovalev to take it?
Yes, I think Andre Ward is going to get hit more than Floyd Mayweather would get hit going up. Like when Floyd Mayweather went to super welterweight, Floyd Mayweather got weight. He like the best. He like the master swinger of boxing. He's not going to get hit as much as Andre Ward going to get hit this fight. So I see Kovalev taking it.
Hey, that's an interesting perspective, man. I mean, what do you say to that, E-King?
Yes, because I just another thing, I wanted to get your opinion on this. I think that Bradley got bad promoters because I think that Bradley should have fought before he gave Pacquiao his rematch, unless it was like an automatic rematch clause. I think a couple fights he should have tried to promote a fight with Mayweather. You know, he could have been another undefeated welterweight for the boxing. You know, the boxing industry. He should have been another undefeated welterweight for Floyd Mayweather to come back for. I don't think he should have gave Pac-Man that rematch due to the fact that Pac-Man is old and it was too much of a risk. I think he should have built up more on the second fight.
Well, you know, I'll tell you.
Bradley had a lot of potential after the Pacquiao victory, but he decided to stay with Bob Arum at that point, and then he had a lot of problems after the Pacquiao victory, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fought Provodnikov, and then
yes,
I don't know if he went downhill from there, Marquez, but just his decision making at those stages. If he had left Bob Arum, the sky was the limit for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And you know, and to go back to Bradley, you know, I do think Bradley should have been more aggressive calling out Floyd. Maybe he should have even pulled a Shane Mosley, jumped in the ring. But you know, talking to Bradley and his former trainer Joel Diaz, man, they had an enormous amount of respect for Floyd Mayweather's skills. Joel Diaz, and I still have the video up on my channel, you know, he praised the shit out of Floyd Mayweather. I mean, you could clearly see that they were in awe of Floyd Mayweather, his skill and his ability. And this goes back to my call from dude from New York. This is the exact point that I was making. When you talk to professional boxers and trainers that do this for a living, and you see how they praise him, they praise Floyd more than I do. So that tells you something right there. So just, you know, to kind of answer your question, Bradley, he should have been more aggressive trying to get that fight. Also, I mean, you know, Floyd Mayweather, he already retired as the best fighter of this era, but that would have been a great look. And I've said it before, if he could have, you know, got Bradley in that little, you know, Fantastic Four when it comes to, you know, the Pacquiaos that he beat, the Marquez, you know, the Cottos and everyone else that he beat. I just think because all of them guys fought each other, that would have been a good look, you know, to get to see Mayweather versus Bradley, you know. So
I got one more thing. I got to get your opinion on this now. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Now, Floyd Mayweather has fought a lot of. Every time I see Floyd, if I know you're gonna see Floyd, you might see Floyd, but I want you to let him know this. Everybody I seen Floyd fight, even Canelo, he had speed on Canelo, he had experience on Canelo. You know, everybody that Floyd ever fought, I see him having something like he fought Zab. They was pretty much an even match, but Zab ain't had no win. Now, Floyd has to get people to. It's fighters that Floyd did fought that he outboxed in 12 rounds that did not respect his punching power. So it had to be a fighter that got more than this, like pretty much got everything on Floyd. And the only fighter that I see beat Floyd Mayweather is Amir Khan. Why? Because Amir Khan got the speed, he got the height, he got the reach, he got the stamina, and I don't think Floyd can get him to respect his punch power. Because I really don't see Amir Khan. He don't really respect nobody's punch power. That's pretty much why he got knocked out. He was more when he fought Canelo. He was more based on getting there trying to. He was in the pocket too much. I see him standing in the pocket with Mayweather, and I don't see Mayweather knocking him out because I don't think that right hand gonna get him out of here. And I think he'll lose in 12.
Well,
I think Mayweather. I think if Amir Khan, if he can't make Amir Khan respect his power and he don't put him to sleep, I see him losing to Amir Khan in 12. That's the only fighter. If it's Keith Thurman, do I think Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia can beat Amir Khan or a heavy puncher like a 1-2 follow-up puncher? Yeah, I think they can beat. I think Floyd can beat anybody like that. I think a 1-2 puncher. Any 1-2 puncher, hard hitting welterweight, hard hitting super welterweight, middleweight. Yeah, they can knock Amir Khan out. But I don't see Amir Khan. I never seen Amir Khan lose in 12 without getting knocked out.
Well, I mean, there's no. Well, thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it. But I just say this real quick. You know, when it comes to Amir Khan, there's no doubt about it. I could clearly see Amir Khan going in there, surprising people, and doing way better than some people would expect maybe in the first couple of rounds. But I truly believe, once again, I go back to, Floyd Mayweather's, concept, his approach, which is you bang the boxer and you box the banger. I think Floyd Mayweather would apply so much pressure on Amir Khan. He will force Amir Khan to fight on the inside. Amir Khan will be forced to hold a lot on the inside, and he won't even be able to get off a lot of punches. He'll have to clinch before he can even engage because of Floyd Mayweather's intelligence.
He most definitely clinch him up.
Yeah.
No,
Amir Khan.
Even Khan might lose points because he kept pushing off against Lamont Peterson.
Even the Algieri fight. He was having problems with Algieri.
It's gonna take a fighter like Amir Khan to make Floyd Mayweather fight. He's gonna bring more of a fight out there. He's gonna bring more of a fight out of Floyd Mayweather than just a heavy puncher.
Well, he's gonna
heavy
force.
Puncher not gonna make Floyd Mayweather fight.
Well, he's gonna force
more than just being a heavy puncher.
Yeah. Well, what he would do, Amir Khan, is he would force Floyd Mayweather to chase him around the ring. And that would make Floyd Mayweather a lot more aggressive. But, once again, when it comes to power and what you was talking about with Andre Ward, when you said you don't think Kovalev is going to respect Andre Ward's power, once again, people have to realize Floyd Mayweather moved up 5 weight classes, so clearly he's not the strongest puncher at welterweight. Just like Floyd Mayweather said, it doesn't matter if you're bigger than me, stronger than me, faster, taller than me. Right. I'm going to beat you with my intelligence.
Another thing you got to remember, Floyd got them cat reflexes. Andre Ward is good. He is a good boxer. He is probably the top boxer now, but he's not no Rigondeaux. He's not no Floyd Mayweather. He's going to get touched. And you got to think about this. He going a whole weight class up. And do I think Kovalev would be the pound-for-pound best in the world if he beat Andre Ward? No, because I think it's about a person moving up. It's about being pound-for-pound. It's about the smaller boxer beating the bigger boxer. It's about anybody that's close to your weight class, you should be able to beat them. Anybody that's close that you can fight, you should be able to beat them. So he has to be at least a cruiserweight. He has to unify the cruiserweight division to be the pound for pound. He can't beat Andre Ward, somebody that I ain't never seen Andre Ward fight no dominant, no super dominant. I don't even know who Herrera is. He gotta. If Andre Ward beats him, if he beat Kovalev, pound for pound the best, but Kovalev, no. He's being a smaller guy.
Well,
he's gonna try to run over him with the power.
Hey man, well, I will say this, man. I gotta disagree with you. If Sergey Kovalev beats Andre Ward, I got him down as number 1 pound for pound, and for the simple reason that he beat a pound for pound, top 5, top 3 fighter. Just that alone. True. There's nobody else. There, Roman Gonzalez, Golovkin, none of them guys have beaten a top 5 pound for pound fighter. So if you're the first person to beat Andre Ward since he was 12 years old, oh yeah, you're getting a lot of accolades. Hey man, I gotta let you go, man, so I can answer some more calls, man.
Okay.
Hey, hit me back. Buddy. Just call back in on the next one, all right, man? All right, man. Take care, man.
Okay, buddy, I call back.
All right, bro. All right, man. So yeah, that's what that is, man. Let me go in. What's that? What'd you say? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's keep coming. Yeah, oh yeah. Hey man, people love talking boxing, man. So I'm loving it, man. But I'm gonna take another one. I'll probably take like maybe 2 more calls, and then I got them lined up right now, man. People been on hold since the beginning of the show, man. So, but anyway, let me take another call. We got area code another 832. I'm gonna memorize all these area codes. What's going on, man?
Hello.
What's going on, man? What's your name and where you calling from?
How you doing?
All right.
My name's Jarvis, and the first thing I want to tell you, bro, I'm a big fan of your show. I watch it every night.
Appreciate
it. And you showing me a lot about boxing. I got one quick question for you.
What's up?
I don't understand why people always give Floyd Mayweather so much credit. The man stepped up in 5 weight classes, 5 division champ. Everybody keeps talking about the man don't got punching power, but am I tripping? Don't Floyd Mayweather walk these fighters down?
Yeah. I mean,
he walked all these fighters down.
And bigger fighters. Go ahead.
Bigger fighters. And when I watched him fought Canelo Alvarez, I'm going to be the first to tell you, Dante, when Floyd Mayweather signed for that contract with Showtime and NBC, I just knew he was not finna fight Canelo. Well, if he was gonna fight Canelo, it was gonna be like second to last. This man fought this man like the 3rd or 2nd fight.
Mm-hmm.
And
second fight. That's about right.
And when he got in that ring with him, did you see how small Mayweather was compared to Canelo?
Yeah. I mean,
and during that fight, Floyd Mayweather was walking Canelo down.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Majority of the fight. So I don't understand why people keep saying this man got puncher power. I always tell my friends, what's your definition of puncher power?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, let's just say he don't got knockout power, but I feel like he got enough power to make you respect him.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't too many people running up on Floyd Mayweather, because if it was so easy for all these fighters to overpower him,
and he would be
what's the problem?
It would have been beat.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
and I personally feel like this man was one of the greatest boxers, or the greatest of all time. Because in my era, and I'm only speaking in my era, I have never seen nobody dominate like this man.
Mm-hmm.
This man has dominated for years
against
fought
pound for
every
pound
kind
fighters.
of fighter.
Yeah, all day. And once again, I mean,
yeah, he dominated, bro. Zab Zuda, and when he fought Zab Zuda, hey, anybody know about Zab Zuda history? That boy was square business.
Mm-hmm.
Speed, knockout power, all that. I seen that fight, bro. Actually, to my personal opinion, Zab Zuda the only one gave Floyd Mayweather any kind of trouble, really.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Real trouble. Everybody.
I mean,
I think Cotto deserves credit.
Yeah.
I mean, Cotto, you can say that, but I feel like for as speed and movement, Zab Zuda matched Mayweather in every bracket.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a mirror. It was like a mirror match.
It was a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
So with Miguel Cotto, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but I really feel like the fight Floyd Mayweather fought Miguel Cotto, I don't think Floyd was at his best shape, bro. I ain't never seen Floyd Mayweather come in winded like that. And that was the only time I seen him like that. After that Cotto, he smashing people, bro.
I don't even, you know what? I wouldn't even make any excuses, me personally. I just think Cotto was really tough. And, they were fighting toe-to-toe. Floyd Mayweather was fighting him on the ropes. He was fighting him on the ropes.
And I'm glad you brought that up.
And Cotto was clever.
Don't give them, and he fought Cotto in a pocket.
And they say he was running, right? Even when he fought him on the pocket, they still say he was running.
That man wasn't running, bro. Every fight I seen him fought, almost every single fight, he walked these people down. And I want to bring up one more topic before I go. I want to bring up Andre Berto. A lot of people don't know. When Floyd Mayweather fought Victor Ortiz, he was actually trying to fight Andre Berto when Andre Berto was a beast. Mm-hmm. Andre Berto ended up losing to Victor Ortiz, but nobody don't bring up that.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, if you really, when people talk about Floyd Mayweather fighting Andre Berto as his last fight, after he already beat the quote-unquote fighter of the decade, I mean, you got to really, they
gave that shit to Ronda Rousey. You believe that shit?
the fighter of the year. and then she got knocked out. And then she got knocked out like a month after they gave it to her. But you already know what time it is.
And then her ass on interviews talking about she was contemplating about killing herself.
Yeah, of course.
I wish she don't do that. But damn,
yeah.
Really?
All that pressure, man. You got people calling. You got people saying you the fighter of the decade or the fighter of the year, and all of a sudden you get knocked the fuck out like that. Yeah, man.
Bro, and I don't get it. And let me show you how great this man is. And I'm not even a Floyd Mayweather fan, but I respect talent. And I respect Floyd because we don't got too many black fighters doing what this man doing. This man is so great.
Too many fighters, period.
This man to go up to fight Golovkin.
Triple G, yeah.
Yeah, because...
I mean, don't get me wrong, bro. Triple G, I don't know what's going on, but, man, he ain't really stepped up to nobody, bro. He had his chance to fight Andre Ward, brother.
I mean, just
if that man would have beat Andre Ward,
yeah. I mean, and see
that's all he needed on his resume. He'd been good.
And see, that's my whole thing right there. If Floyd Mayweather could jump up 5 weight classes, if Andre Ward, if Manny Pacquiao could jump up 8 classes or weight classes, why can't Gennady Golovkin jump up one or two weight classes when he's considered
because
the hardest
he know that
puncher.
boy square business, Dante.
Of course,
That's
of
just
course.
what it is.
Of course.
And hey, look, I don't like Kovalev. I don't honestly think he's racist. I think he's just ignorant to our culture, black culture, and what we went through. But hey, I ain't seen Kovalev turn down nobody, brother. For him to step up to Andre, because everybody is ducking that man.
No doubt.
Everybody ducking that man. Even Andre Steve. Now he won. I really just think he's talking. But hey, we gonna find out after this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. But, and let me just say that
Stevenson had plenty of time to fight Kovalev, bro.
Absolutely.
Plenty of time.
Absolutely.
And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of all these haters and all these people. Man, Mayweather stepped up 5 weight classes, and you could go back and watch I watched every fight of this man. I seen Mayweather walk down every single fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I even said him in the beginning of the Canelo fight. The first 2 rounds, he stood in this man's face.
Yeah.
Walked to him.
But see, at the same time, though, you have to understand, and people don't want to, compare him to Ali, but everything that people are saying and the way they treating Floyd Mayweather today is the exact same way they were treating Muhammad Ali back then. See, people praise Muhammad Ali now because he's no longer a threat. He's not a threat to their favorite fighters anymore, so they'll use him as this crutch to basically say, oh, this has nothing to do with race or this has nothing to do with no personal agenda because, see, I like Muhammad Ali. But if Muhammad Ali was here today, they would be hating Muhammad Ali more than they hate Floyd because Muhammad Ali, they call Floyd a runner. Muhammad Ali is known for floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. He moved in the ring more than Floyd Mayweather did. So it's all hypocritical, man. The end of the day, man, as long as the professional boxers and the media and the historians, they have Floyd Mayweather where he belongs, where he deserves to be, that's all that matters. Because ESPN, they hate Floyd Mayweather's black ass, to put it direct. They hate his ass, right?
Right.
But even,
and you know the sad part about it?
But hold on. But even they had to submit, and they had to put him down as number 1, or I should say they had to concede rather, and they had to put him down as number 1 as the best fighter in the last 25 years. But anyway, man, but I appreciate chopping it up with you, man, and you calling in. I'm gonna let you go so I can get to the next call, man.
I watch all your shows, brother. I stay tuned every day, man. Keep up the good work, brother. I gotta go to bed anyway. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you accepting my call, brother.
No problem. Take care, man. For sure. So, E-King, that's pretty much what it is, man. I mean, it's funny how people be like, they don't talk about Mayweather, but you notice the majority of the calls are about Mayweather. Everybody talking about Mayweather. Conor McGregor talking about Mayweather. The fans talking about Mayweather, and he retired. You know what I mean? So we know what it is.
When he's retired, he's still the biggest name.
Well, yeah, of course.
In sport, he's still the biggest name in sport.
Of course, absolutely, man. So yeah, man. But anyway, yeah, man. I'm gonna take one more call, man, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. We got area code 203 in the house. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Dante? It was Warren, man, Connecticut.
Okay, what's up, man? That's what it is. What's on your mind?
What's going on, man? I just wanted to make 2 points, man. First off, man, with Andre Ward, I just seen Kovalev get hit, by more robotic fighters. So I see Andre Ward just getting in there, touching him up. Now you see me, now you see me, now you don't type of fight. I got him 7-5 or 8-4.
You said you got Ward 7-5, 8-4?
7-5 or 8-4, even though I could see him in the mid rounds getting touched one time, but I see him responding well to it.
Yeah, hey, that's a good prediction. I mean, I pretty much see it. Yeah, I pretty much see it that way. I see the first 4 rounds being, a serious competitive chess match. And then once again, once that blueprint prints out, what I'm saying, that's when I see Andre Ward kind of taking over. I see Andre Ward getting a little comfortable on the inside, starting to smother Kovalev. I see Kovalev for the first time looking uncomfortable, dealing with that inside game. Go ahead.
That's what I want to know. I mean, you just hear, how's Andre going to respond to his power? What's Andre going to do? How's Kovalev going to respond to somebody that's moving well, that's getting inside, touching you, getting out, coming in, smothering you? How's Kovalev going to respond to adversity? Because you haven't really seen him taking it to deep water. And Jalimba was touching him, sort of at will at times in that fight. And I'm like, oh, my God, I can see Andre just touching him all night. Now, the last point, I won't hold you too long. Fantasy fight that I always need to see was a better trained, more disciplined Paul Williams versus Mayweather.
Yeah, that would have been.
I got Mayweather.
Yeah,
I don't see him beating Mayweather, but I see the fight being interesting because, I don't see Mayweather really hurting Paul, and Paul throwing that 100 punches around. And being that workhorse, man, I said that would be an interesting fight.
No doubt about it. It would definitely be an interesting fight, and that would have been one of Floyd Mayweather's toughest fights. I think the downfall for Paul Williams in that fight would be because he's such a volume puncher and he didn't have the greatest defense. He would leave himself open, while he's throwing a lot of them punches. We've seen, as his career progressed, we've seen Paul Williams start to get hit a lot more. He started to look almost somewhat like a Diego Corrales. I'm not saying their style was similar.
Exactly.
But
you took the words out of my mouth. That's why I said a better train. I figure I always seen him because I was a big Paul fan. I said, man, if he could get in the hands of a better trainer, oh, my God, he'd be special.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man, that's my thoughts with that one, man. And I don't see him really beating May, but I see him pushing Mayweather, a little bit with his size and, his volume punching. But I still see May somehow pulling it out. And Paul had a tendency to fight short at times,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, man, but thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it, man. And you take care, all right? All right, man. Take care, man. All right. So, yeah. And shouts out to my man Curtis Stevens, man. Curtis Stevens, he's fighting on the undercard against James De La Rosa. I just really like the drive. I like Curtis. He's been confident. He got a real vicious knockout against an undefeated prospect, I think, in his very last fight. I don't know if it was his last fight or not. But Curtis is looking good right now, man. And then shout out to Clarissa Shields as well. She's making her debut on the undercard.
That's right.
So, yeah, man. So it'll be interesting. But last thing I want to talk about, E-King, and then we'll go and wrap it up, man. Conor McGregor, like I said, everybody talking about, or Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather responded to him, and he said, I'm the biggest name in MMA. I mean, it's crazy because when you think about it, Floyd Mayweather makes a valid point. Because it's funny, when you look at it the other way around, you don't ever hear any boxers talking about MMA fighters, right? But when it comes to MMA, they all talk about Floyd Mayweather. It's almost like an admission that they even believe that the sport of boxing or Floyd Mayweather is much bigger than the UFC. I mean, is that kind of how you see it or what?
Even before Conor McGregor had gained this stardom, Ronda Rousey was basically UFC's #1 star, and she couldn't shut up about Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor he's just following suit, trying to market his name and connect with other big names, and it's paying off for him because he's got his name attached to Mayweather by basically the generic mainstream media that wants to hype up a fight that will probably never happen.
Yeah.
Even though Floyd actually offered, he put the money on the table for McGregor to try and take it, but McGregor, I'm sure he was under contract and he couldn't get approval for that kind of a matchup.
Yeah.
In a boxing match.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what?
Something.
Conor McGregor is extremely marketable at this stage, and he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Absolutely.
And if he keeps winning, he's going to make a lot of money for UFC. And
he said for UFC.
Paid, but I'm sure.
And
Floyd Mayweather offered him.
He offered him $50 million. Yeah, he offered him $50 million. And you know how much Conor just made against?
He didn't want it. So.
And you know how much Conor just made against Alvarez? He made
I actually don't know.
He made $4 million against Alvarez. So at least that's the word on the street. So even if that's true, you turn down $50 million and you make $4 million, which is big for UFC. That's huge because before Conor, credit to Conor McGregor, because before he came along, UFC fighters, they was making $250,000, and that was like for the biggest names in the sport. What's that?
That's a lot. That's a lot for a UFC guy.
Yeah.
That's the biggest number I've heard.
Yeah. But see, and this is once again the funny, ironic double standards, is because when you basically think about it, you remember when Conor and Ronda Rousey and everybody, the media was talking about these fighters, they want to fight Floyd. They want to fight Floyd, and Floyd is scared and all this kind of stuff. You've seen articles after articles. Everybody was bashing Floyd, that these people, they want to fight him, right? But soon as Floyd Mayweather says, I'll fight Conor McGregor, in a boxing match, now all of a sudden them same people saying, oh, look at Floyd trying to cherry pick. Look at him trying to cherry pick and fight, Conor McGregor and all this kind of stuff. You see how this shit works? That's kind of the same thing they did with Manny Pacquiao. When Manny Pacquiao, everybody said that Floyd was scared of Manny Pacquiao. As soon as Floyd signed the contract, now all of a sudden they said he cherry picking Manny Pacquiao, So we already pretty much know what it is, man. But anyway, man.
Yeah, man. Floyd did his thing. I gotta shout out. Right now we're heading into the new generation of boxing where Floyd Mayweather, I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know what his plans are, but right now it's the welterweight division. It's so hot, and we got guys like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. They're gonna mix it up. Sean Porter might get the winner of that fight. That's gonna be totally awesome going into next year. And we gotta look forward to the new champion crown in the welterweight division, because that is a money division, and who knows if Mayweather could come back? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But we'll see, man. Hey, man, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to say thanks for my man, EkingFightnews. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He'll be back on the show. Thanks for everybody that called in. We're going to be doing a live show every week. Eventually, I'm going to be doing about 2 shows a week. We'll probably do a non-live one, and then we'll do a live one as well. So once again, thanks for everybody calling in. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We on to the next one, y'all. It's the nation, baby.
All right.
All right.